Hi everyone, it's Kewen. We're here at Blast Recording Studios. We're going to do a little track walkthrough today. I'm with Oliver Cobb, who is the engineer and producer of the album, probably a familiar face by this point. We're going to do a little run through of Lake Song today, which is probably the shortest song on the record, I think.
It's a short one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think, just the idea with this one is I think I wanted to write the country song of the album. So I think we're going to have a little listen first before we dive into it.
Yeah, well, what's the backstory on this one?
Well, I went to the Lakes last year and wanted to write something a bit more countrified. There's country elements on this thing, but I wanted to put a little bit more of a Moan spin on a country track. Mm-hmm. People have said, "Oh, you need a country song." So, I think there's things you added to this with and then we wanted the fiddle on and stuff. It kind of made sense to have this for just a full blown country song. Yeah. And I think people are going to like it. So.
Oh, let's have a listen.
It's a good story, actually. This is a good story. Met upon the lake down the hill on a Tuesday night. He looked at me and said, "It'll be alright." I was cold, bruised, battered with the wind blowing through my hair. With that perfect smile, I just didn't care. We sailed and we swam and we laughed till the sun went down. Then he threw me a raft and he told me not to drown. I always hate the way I come back dry, and you always get me every time. 'Cause you're beautiful, your love's a crime. You're beautiful, take your time. But all you seem to do is give me sign after sign. When all the pretty pictures lay out scattered in my mind. You're beautiful, and your love's a crime.
Great, yeah, I love this.
Yeah, that's one of my favourites. It's definitely a good one. I think we took a lot of inspiration not only from just generic country music, but we're a big fan of Brian Fallon and the Gaslight Anthem, and I think a lot of the harmonies in this one is kind of very reminiscent of that.
Yeah, probably on the simpler side as far as harmonies go, but less is more sometimes. Mm-hmm. I think we had Jack on this one, so
Jack's helped on about 2/3 of the album, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a real sort of driving force on this one. So he's sort of doing this. It's quite a typical kind of country roll sort of thing, which is great.
Some of the fills are just simple and nice on that. The one after the instrumental's really nice as well. Where
you've got him doing some tom stuff. But then in the back half of the song, he really opens up a little bit, and he's got that ride groove going on there. We'll hear Hannah with that as well, bass.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's effective.
Big cowboy chords.
It's all neat. So that the rhythm section is sort of simple. I don't think there's much more to explain. In terms of just about the harmony, I think. I mean, like I say, it's the O's in the final chorus. We've got.
We'll put those in with everything we just had there. So we've got.
Yeah, and that's you, I believe. Is that all you?
It's all me on this one.
There's a lot of you doing backing on the album, but obviously Hannah helps out quite a bit, and we've had some guests, but it's just you. And is it Hannah in this as well?
I don't think Hannah's in this one.
No, it's just you.
I think it's just me on this one.
The one backing vocal that really did just come to me when we were kind of recording this was that. In the chorus, that I just heard that, and I was like, that needs to be in there. It's like it was,
And then that goes up higher later on as well.
It's really nice. I think it was one of those that where there's been parts of this album that we haven't had a clue at how it should sound sometimes. But I think a lot of this track particularly came along quite just naturally, and like parts like that just came to you. There's also the fiddle solo, obviously, which is the
that's kind of the
big
highlight.
part.
Yeah. Should we have a listen to this?
It's not in until the solo, so it kind of just catches you off guard. It's very reminiscent of like Darius Rucker, Wagon Wheel, like that kind of sound. So it was like obvious. My face when we did that session, and we had Niles, who had a session musician in from America as well, who came and did the did the fiddle. And I was just like,
great,
did I bring my hat in or something?
I think you might have, yeah.
So,
well, let's hear
yeah.
just the back half of the chorus here, and then the fiddle solo to take us out.
When all the pretty pictures lay out scattered in my mind, you're beautiful and your love's a crime.
That's great.
I believe, the typical kind of follows the melody and then goes off. I believe it's a mash of a few takes, that, isn't it? We liked elements of everything, so
we just let him loose, I think, and then
he just did a few versions of it, and then I said I wanted the melody at the start, and he worked that out. I'm sure we booked him for like 3 hours, and he was in for like 20 minutes.
He's not here long.
And so that was. But one of my favourite things in this song, we've talked about your guitar being quite like simplistic and the rhythm section, is when obviously the fiddle's in throughout the end there, just kind of riffing, and it's when it syncs up with the little picky part in your guitar. That just gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. Like,
is that at the back end here?
I think it's just near the end.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dun, 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 it just kind of.
Yeah, let's just hear
Beautiful and your love's a crime. But all you seem to do is give me sign after sign. When all the pretty pictures lay out scattered in my mind, you're beautiful, take your time. You're beautiful.
Yeah, so you should solo those two just so we could hear them together. They sound great. That was unintentional, I think.
Yeah, well, we've got this. There wasn't much scope for the electric guitar on this one. There's a bit of guitar rhythm, and then
I'm sure you did the guitar first, though, and then Niles just happened to play that riff.
That's
there,
right.
because he does it earlier. He does it first.
That's right.
And then he does it again, and it syncs up with that. And that was just a really pretty mistake. That was just like so nice.
To come back to that bit, just to go through what the guitar's doing. There's which I think is as country as I could have gone with that.
And we were debating on keeping that going in the solo as well, weren't we? But
Yeah.
it was just a bit too much.
In the chorus, it expands more into a kind of sort of plucked chord, I think.
Just thirds and things.
So that at the end, I think it's just the same thing. When that comes in with the fiddle, we have those two together.
Yeah, I love that.
You're beautiful and you're mine.
Yeah, it was a happy accident, that, I think, and it was just really, really nice.
It's so simplistic. There's not many tracks here. There's 11 audio tracks.
Which is probably the least amount, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's not all of the drums. Obviously, that's the drums bounced down. But as far as core elements, there's only 11 things really going on here.
I want to talk about the little start thing that we've added, because we've not really done much like this before, and there's a couple of things on the album that are like this, and I wanted some sort of, you hear these little like kind of studio outtakey things at the start and end of tracks, and we've got one at the end of the same outfit.
It's harder to get than you might think, trying to record genuinely funny moments in the studio and have it picked up by a microphone and recorded exactly at the right time, but we seem to have got that.
Good story, actually. is a good story.
I don't even know what we were saying.
I think you set the recording. We had a few people in the session that day. We just put the mic on and just started telling jokes and just doing all sorts in there. And I think you mashed a couple of things up. There's a guitar chord in there, and I think you put in like a space bar or something to make it sound quite like just add an extra element. So little moments like that, I think, like make this song now just kind of unique and what it is. I mean, that's pretty much a good chunk of it, to be fair.
Should we have a listen to the bridge? Because I like this. It's not a very long song, and we've got this sort of breakdown section, and something that the fiddle does really nice here. So we put on the end of this.
When I saw you walking gracefully along the beach, there's a few things in this life I want you to teach. Like how to have a heart of gold and make love like a rolling stone. 'Cause you're beautiful, take your time. You're beautiful.
There's some nice moments for Hannah there as well. She's doing something
Like
cool.
how to
Yes.
take your time. You're beautiful.
That little like hammer on pull off thing that she was doing there, and like I don't think I remember that personally either. So yeah, I mean there's some really just nice subtle kind of guitar chords. Again, simplistic, but it works really nicely.
I had forgotten there was even rhythm guitar in this.
Yeah.
You seem to do.
I have no memory of doing that.
I can't remember that either. The only other thing I was going to mention is just like lyrics. So for me, being very confused about and mixing my own lyrics up, to write a song where the lyrics are take your time and then your love's a crime, and then the next chorus it's see, I'm mixing it up now, I think. Love's a crime, then take your time, then it's take your time, then love's a crime, and then it mixes it up one more time at the end. So I think writing a song that's a bit different like that, where the chorus typically does change a little bit, and you know, you have that different, even though it's so short, you've got the different lyrics.
You've got a very
on.
short song here. You've got to try and make it interesting from start to finish, and like, you know, you've got a lot to say in quite a short amount of time. So you have to do little things like that to kind of make it interesting. That's why we've got the development with the fiddle. That's why the guitar does something different here than it does here, you know what I mean? It all builds up. And
You even got a shaker in there. That was the only other instrument.
yeah, somewhere. Let's have a look. So
You're beautiful.
yeah.
you always got to have the bells and
Little
whistles.
things like that, like you don't notice. You're saying the electric guitar, the shaker. Like it's nice to dive into and spend a bit more time on something like this because you forget, you know, and that's
It's all adding, it all adds together, and you know you're building up sort of a sonic kind of thing here. And there's more in. There's the point of doing these is I think there's more in even a simple song like this. There's more in it than you might think, and it all adds up for a nice sonic experience.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was Lake Song by Kewen and produced by Oliver Cobb. Yeah, looking forward to letting you all hear it soon. Thank you.